Hi, my name is Tyler Ringy, and I'm one of the owners of ProSkill Services in the North Valley. ProSkill Services is the highest rated plumbing, heating, air conditioning, water treatment, and electrical company in Arizona. And I wanted to take a moment to answer a question that is commonly asked by our customers, and that is, when should I add salt to my softener? How much salt should I add to my water softener? What kind of salt should I use? Well, to answer one of those questions, the salt that we typically recommend is the Diamond Crystal brand. It's sold in a 40-pound bag at Home Depot for about $5. You can also use Morton's System Saver, you can use the solar salt, the crystal salt, or you can use potassium. Any of those will work just fine in the softener, and I don't care which one you use, it's going to maintain warranty and all that good stuff. It's really about how you add it, where folks run into issues with bridging and running out of softened water. So knowing what kind of salt we're going to use, whichever one you decide to use, let's go ahead and take a look in the brine tank, and we'll see how much salt you should have in there and when you should add salt. Currently, I need to add salt to my system, and we'll go over a couple details as we do that. So let's take a look. Okay, so we're standing here at our brine tank. And right now you can see inside the brine tank we still have salt. That's a good thing. You never want to run out of salt. That being said, you can also see that there's standing water above the salt level. It's about 4 to 6 inches above the salt level. That's okay. Water is supposed to be in this brine tank. This is a post-fill water softener, meaning that the water should be in here at the end of regeneration. With that said, my rule of thumb has always been when you have water above the salt level, it's time to add salt. And the way I do that is add a bag of salt until you don't see water anymore. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a bag of salt right now. Okay, so we've added one 40-pound bag of salt, and you can see that it filled it up pretty good, but we still see standing water. We want to get rid of that standing water, so let's add one more bag of salt. All right, so now as you can see, all we have in here is salt. You can't see the water any longer, so at this point, I would stop adding salt. What you don't want to do is continue to fill this brine tank up. It becomes very heavy, and it can actually do damage to the brine tank over a long term. And the bigger worry is that it forms a salt bridge. A salt bridge is where the water level is kind of stagnant at the same spot, and the salt will then form a bridge at that point where all the salt crystallizes. Then the salt below it is used up, and you have what seems to be a completely full brine tank, but no usable brine water because the water is not making contact with the salt anymore. That's why I like to say, when you see water, add a bag. So you're not going to add salt to this brine tank again until you actually see the water again, at which point add a bag of salt until you don't see water anymore. Okay, so we've successfully added our salt to the brine tank. The final question is, how often are you going to need to add that salt? That's going to vary depending upon the residence, how many people you have in the home, how large the softener is, and really how often it's going to regenerate. Softeners use somewhere between 9.5 and 18 pounds of salt per regeneration. At ProSkill, we've always tried to size it so that it regenerates twice a month. So it's going to be somewhere between 20 and 40 pounds of salt a month, depending upon the softener. That being the case, I would check your softener brine tank at least on a monthly or every other month basis if you're keeping it nicely full, and then just add that bag of salt every time you see water. That's going to keep your softener working great for years to come. And really, our softener with a lifetime warranty on all the parts and a 5-year warranty on the resin, it'll last 15 plus years if you keep salt in it. That's really it. You don't have to mess with the settings. Worst case scenario is you lose power and you just have to adjust the time simply by hitting set clock up and down for the hour, next, up and down for the minute, next, and you're done. So not a lot of maintenance to these products, just keep salt in them, and on our annual reverse osmosis filter change, we'll obviously test and check to make sure everything's working perfectly with your water softener. Thank you for watching. I hope it was educational, and have a great day.